Heya, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. I think this is my first ever video. So yeah, I'm joining BookTube. Long overdue. I've wanted to make one of these for a couple of years now. So yeah, one of the reasons I made this channel is because there's something called the Reading Rush. If you don't know what the Reading Rush is, it's been known as a BookTube challenge, but now it's just called the Reading Rush, I believe. I'll leave links in the description down below if you want to take part in them yourself. There are 7 prompts, you can cross them with each other. I haven't. I've chosen 7 books for this, for my TBR. It is a challenge that will go from the 20th of July to the 26th of July, I believe. And again, this is my first ever year doing this, so I'm gonna see how it turns out. I don't think it's gonna be good, but we're gonna see. So, first prompt. Oh, by the way, I should also mention that I'm not gonna be getting any physical copies of these books, except for maybe one of them. I'm going to be reading on my Kindle, which is just, I mean, I wasn't an e-reader until lockdown happened and I couldn't go out to buy books, and I didn't really like ordering them on Amazon because they take time to come, you have to wait, and I hate waiting for things. This way you can just download your books right on here and it's really handy and I really like it. So anyway, first prompt is read a book with a cover that matches the colour of your birthstone. So for this, I'm going to insert a picture right here because again, I'm reading on my Kindle. So for this, I have my birthstone. I'm an August baby, so I'm a Leo, and my birthstone is a peridot, which looks like this. And so I needed to find a green cover, so I have chosen Splintered by A.G. Howard, which is the first in Splintered series. I believe it's a Read Honey Wells Wonderland, where basically it's like it's like the person who is actually based on, like, the story is real, and it's like their great granddaughter, and they're told they are crazy, and actually then she gets sucked into the real Wonderland, and it's mayhem. Apparently, I think it's supposed to be really good. That's all I know. So yes, that is my first book for this challenge. So the second prompt is reading a book that starts with the word the. So I knew I needed it to be short, and I didn't have that many options because authors are getting a little bit more creative with their titles. So for this one, I was going to choose Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief, but it's not actually called the book's not actually called The Lightning Thief, it's called Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, so I couldn't actually use that one. So instead, I needed it to be a short, quick read, so I've chosen The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which is the second book in Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've read the first book, absolutely loved it, never got around to the second book. I really should have. Also, added bonus, it's cheap on Kindle. It's like £3 on Kindle. So yes, the first 2 prompts were kind of easy for me to choose. The third book is read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. Bit harder because there aren't many films I've seen that I think are books. However, I saw this film on Netflix, which is supposed to be a book, and it's really good, called Flipped, by Wendelin van Udelanen. I probably absolutely butchered her name. I do not speak, I want to say German. If you're from Germany, I'm so sorry. I've just completely butchered that. But yeah, it's called Flipped. It's supposed to be really good. It's basically about these 2 next door neighbours. The girl has been in love with this boy for like years of her life, and the boy has not given her the time of day. He doesn't really care about her, he doesn't want to be with her like she wants to be with him, and she's loved him from a really young age. And then as they get older, it kind of flips, and he starts to fall for her and realise how amazing she is, and she starts to realise how much of an idiot he is. And she falls out of love with him and he falls in love with her. It's a good film, however, apparently the book is way better, so that is the book I was going to read. I was going to choose My Sister's Keeper for this one, but the film had me broken, and I think the book is going to have me broken. I know how the book ends as well, and I just feel like I can't take it, it's gonna break me. So I've chosen Flip for that one. It's kind of cheery. So yeah. The next book is where I'm going to start to have problems, because the prompt is read something completely outside your house. Number one, we're in lockdown, which is going to be really hard. Number two, I hate going outside to read. I hate reading outside. I'm an inside reader. Number three, I live in the UK, and the UK weather in July is not the best. August is where it starts to peak, so it's going to be hard to read outside. I might just read it with my window open, but I've chosen they said to interpret it how you want, so I've chosen a book which is about the outside. So this book is called Wilder Girls. Wilder Girls is basically about these people that live on an island, and obviously because humans have been starting to destroy nature, so nature starts to fight back, and people start like disappearing, like having trees growing out of them and stuff and turning into trees. And then this girl's best friend, the main character's best friend, goes missing, and then she knows something's wrong and she's got to try and stop this thing from wiping out everyone. It sounds really good. Probably is really good. It's been recommended to me by someone and it looks just amazing. And it's about the outside fighting back. So I thought, prompt about the outside, nature, fighting back. I think I can probably get away with it. Like, just get away with it. Also, if I read with my window open, because I'm just not reading outside. Next prompt is actually a prompt I'm really excited about, which is the first book you touch. Obviously, because I'm doing it on Kindle and I haven't bought any of the books yet, I can't really do first book I touch. So I've got a random list thingy majiggy on my phone. I'm just gonna press randomise, and then that is gonna be the book I'm gonna read. Okay, so that says Elite of Eden. My sister's book, which I kind of nicked because she wouldn't let me have it. So I don't really want to read it. And it's 250 pages, so it's quite short. So this is the book that I'm going to read, which I originally had done anyway because it's the only book that I could physically touch. But anyway, this is the only like physical copy of a book that I haven't read yet. So this is a sequel to Children of Eden, which I really liked, and my sister, it's like the only book my sister's actually read, and like I think she's pretty far in here, so I don't want to remove the bookmark when I read it. So Children of Eden follows a future where the world's population has most of the world's population was destroyed by themselves. Basically they just kind of wiped everyone out, and a man called Aaron Albaz decided to save them and put them in this like eco dome where they could relive, because the Earth's climate is virtually unbreathable, so they've got to try and like live in this new climate. And it's just really good, and the first book was really good, and it's written by Joey Graceffa, who is a YouTuber. That is Elite of Eden, first book for everyone at home. So this next book, which is book 6 out of 7, we're getting there, I have chosen A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. The front cover for this is absolutely stunning. I chose this book because I wanted to read more urban fantasy, because I read a lot of high fantasy, like Six of Crows, the Grisha trilogy, the Red Queen, which might actually be set on Earth, but all set in the future. So anyway, this book follows a African American teen who lives in Portland and is also part of the Siren community, and it's a book about self-discovery and apparently friendship, and also racism and sexism in America, so it's very relevant to what's going on right now. And it's also a bit of fantasy mixed in there because she's a siren and she can't tell anyone she's a siren, and there's like a siren murder trial that takes place, I believe, and one of her influences comes out as a siren, and they kind of have to fight oppression they face as sirens, but also as part members of the black community in America. I'm not completely sure what it's about, so I'm not the best person to give a plot summary. I will re-summarise these books after I've read them. Probably I'll do like a finishing up video of all the books I read this week, but this is definitely one of the books I want to get around to reading. It's only 280 pages, so it is manageable in one day. And it's new release as well, and I want to look forward to reading it. And I can get it on Kindle for about £4, I think. So yeah, and it looks really good. Okay, so then the last prompt is set on a continent different to you. So for this one, I've chosen, I knew I needed a short read, and for this I've gone to one of my favourite authors, Jeanette Ivanovic, and chosen Wicked Business. She is a crime author, I want to say, who is comedy, like a comedian kind of thing, and she writes like really funny books, and they take me like 4 hours to read, so they're quick and they're easy, and I just can't stop reading them. So this is Wicked Business. This is part of her Wicked Charm series, which is about the 7 deadly sins in the form of stones. So there are 2 characters. So there's Lizzie, who can sense these stones, like these objects that lead to the stones, or the stones themselves. And there's Diesel, who is the warlock who wants to find these stones, mainly before his cousin, I want to say, does. But Lizzie's like a baker, and then Diesel shows up in the first book. Diesel shows up at a cake shop and is like, "Hey, you're magical, you've got to help me." And Lizzie's like, "You're crazy, get out my cake shop." And she's got a friend who thinks she's a witch, and she like has just really amateur spells, and it's hilarious because she just gets it wrong completely. Really recommend it. I got the first book from the library. The first book is called Wicked Appetite. The second is Wicked Business, and then I think the third is just called Wicked Charms, I believe, but I'm not completely sure. So anyway, that is my TBR for the book reading challenge. Sorry, the only physical copy I have is The Lights of Eden. I think that will change after lockdown. I will start to get more physical copies of books. Part of this week, I'm going to try and do a 24-hour readathon. I've never done one of these. I've never done 24-hour readathon before. Probably not going to make it. It's probably going to be more like 12 hours. But I need motivation, and I need a day where I can just sit down and read for 24 hours, which doesn't actually sound that bad. Like, I think I could read a few books in 24 hours. I'm going to be vlogging it 20th of July to 21st, and then probably the rest of the week. One of those days, however, I am having a Christmas in July party, so I might not be able to read as much, but I'll try. Most of my books are really short. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If this is something you might like, me rambling on about books, then hit the subscribe button. Why not? If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then give it a thumbs down. And I will see you when I've done the reading rush challenge, which I don't know if I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it a try.